Far beyond the busy towns and golden fields, there stood a small wooden house pressed against the edge of an endless forest. Snow covered its roof nearly year-round, and icy winds rattled its walls like restless spirits. Inside lived a family who worked harder than most but owned less than many. The father, Elias, chopped wood from dawn to dusk. His wife, Mara, stitched, cooked, and prayed by candlelight. Their children shared thin blankets and thinner bread. Among them was the youngest daughter, Elin. Elin was quiet but observant, gentle but strong in ways that did not shout. While others complained of the cold, she hummed softly while helping her mother. While others slept, she gazed out the frosted window as if the world beyond the trees was calling her name. On the coldest night of the year, when even the fire seemed afraid to burn, 3 heavy knocks shook the door. The room fell. Silent, Elias opened it slowly. A massive white bear stood before him, fur glowing like moonlit snow, breath curling in the air like smoke. "I know your struggle," the bear said, his voice deep and calm. "If you allow your youngest daughter to come live with me, your family will never hunger again." Mara screamed. Elias slammed the door, but the bear's words lingered like frost that would not melt. The bear returned twice more. Each time, the family refused, yet hunger grew bolder. The children's cheeks hollowed. The firewood pile shrank. Hope thinned. On the third visit, before her parents could answer, Elin stepped forward. "Ask him," she said softly, "if I will be safe." The bear lowered his head. "You will know warmth. You will know kindness. And no harm will come to you." That night, the family wept together. "I will go," Elin said at last. "Not because I am fearless, but because I love you." Wrapped in her mother's cloak, she climbed onto the bear's broad back. The forest swallowed them whole. They traveled farther than Elin believed the world could stretch. At last, a castle rose from the darkness, golden windows glowing, towers dusted with snow, doors opening by themselves. Inside, the air was warm. Food appeared without asking. Fires lit themselves. Soft music echoed through empty halls. Yet servants were never seen. At night, when the candles dimmed, someone came. A man's voice, gentle, patient. "Do not be afraid," he said. His presence was kind, his touch respectful. Though she never saw his face, Elin felt no fear. Days passed into weeks. Loneliness softened into comfort. Comfort slowly bloomed into affection. But one rule remained unbroken. "You must never try to see me," he warned. Gently, Elin promised. When Elin asked to visit her family, he agreed, but his voice trembled. "Trust what you know, not what others fear." Her family rejoiced at her return, but her mother watched her closely. "A man who hides his face hides a monster," Mara whispered. "Light a candle. See the truth." Elin resisted, but doubt once planted grows in silence. That night, back in the castle, she waited. Her heart pounded as she lit the candle. The light revealed not a beast but a young prince, his features noble, his expression peaceful. Her hands shook. Wax spilled onto his chest. He awoke. The prince rose, sorrow darkening his eyes. "You were meant to wait 1 year," he said quietly. 1 year and I would have been free." He told her everything. A curse, a jealous enchantress, a spell that bound him to a bear's form by day and human by night. "Now the magic is broken too soon," he said. "I must be taken to the frozen queen's realm, beyond the reach of human feet." The castle dissolved. Snow whipped against Elin's face as she stood alone. Her heart shattered, but not her will. "I will find you," she whispered into the wind. Elin walked through forests where trees groaned like old men, across rivers that burned with cold, over mountains that scraped the sky. She met 3 wanderers, each ancient, each wise. One gave her a golden apple that shone like the sun. Another gave a silver comb that spun warmth. The third gave a crystal spindle, humming with magic. At last, she reached the winds. Only the east wind, fierce and restless, knew the place. Climb on, it said. The world vanished beneath them. The frozen queen's castle glittered like a blade. Inside, the prince stood silent, spellbound. Elin traded her gifts for 3 nights by his side. The first night, he did not stir. The second, he sighed but did not wake. On the third night, Elin wept not loudly, but truly her tears broke the spell. Their eyes met. The frozen queen demanded a final test. Only the true bride could cleanse the cursed mark from the prince's cloak. Elin did with ease. The castle cracked, ice shattered, magic screamed. The curse ended. The prince chose Elin. The snow melted. They returned not to riches but to warmth earned by courage. And though many seasons passed, Elin never forgot. Love is not proven by sight alone, but by trust, patience, and the bravery to walk into the unknown. And so, they lived not just happily but freely ever after. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the strength to trust, love, and keep walking into the unknown. Watch Elin's magical journey of bravery, love, and trust. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this heartwarming fairy tale with your friends.